It's almost time for kids' time. We're gonna be late.
It's time to share. There's a world out there looking for a friend like Jesus. It's time to share. There's a world out there. Let's tell him that he loves us so. Let's tell him that he loves us so. Kids time. Kids time. Kids time.
Hi, boys and girls. Have you ever thought about what it means to be rich? Doesn't being rich mean having lots and lots of money and the freedom to buy whatever you want? Well, that's what most people think. But money can't buy happiness. In fact, many rich people are miserable. How can that be? How can a person who can have everything they want still be sad and miserable? Well, boys and girls, real riches has nothing to do with having a lot of money. And in fact, the more you give away, the richer you are. That's what our Bible story is about today. Be generous. Start thinking of others more than you think of yourself and just see how much happier and richer it makes you feel. Then write me a letter and tell me all about it, okay? Well, right now it's time for, if we can get Max to wake up. Do you think we can? Do you think we can get Max to wake up? Max? Nope, he's sleepy dog. It's time for nature time.
Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to Nature Time. Ranger Dwight is so excited because we've been out here with world-renowned Dr. Guy Harvey, an expert marine biologist, and we've been with these stingrays, and we're going to talk about something else. And what's that?
Well, whereas the stingray is the icon of the shallow reef,
Okay.
right, we're going to go and visit the icon of the deep reef, which is the Nassau grouper.
The Nassau grouper.
We're going to journey to Little Cayman, and we're going to see what a wonderful research study has been done to help conserve this incredible species.
I can't wait. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Wow, what an exciting day, kids. We've been out all day long, and we've been looking at groupers. Now, what kind of groupers were they again, Dr. Guy?
Those are Nassau groupers, Ranger Dwight. They come here to spawn during February and March every year during the full moon. So the
Okay.
timing of us being here is very specific.
Okay.
What has been happening is that they've been overfished for many, many years, decades in fact, and now the government of Cayman has put a ban on fishing these groupers when they congregate or aggregate into these spawning groups. They become very vulnerable to fishermen.
Wow.
And for the last 8 years, they protected these sites from fishing altogether so that the population can bounce back.
So now, the groupers come to the same spot around every year then?
Every year, the scientists from REEF, that's the Reef Environmental Education Foundation, plus the Department of Environment here in Cayman, have worked very closely together to protect these sites during spawning. They've gone out there, they've measured the fish using lasers, they've tagged the fish using all kinds of tags to follow their movements around the island to prove that they congregate in one spot. On the spawning sites, the fish change color.
Wow.
We saw a lot of color changes with the males going very dark and with a beautiful white stripe through their eye. And right before dusk, they get together with all the gravid females and the hunt is on. And it's called caging, where the males, about 6 or 8 of them, will come and swim right up to the female and kind of coax her into spawning her eggs.
Wow.
And it's a free-for-all. There's a big flurry of activity, and there's a spreading of gametes, and they all go back down to the reef. And the whole thing is repeated time and time again over a 2 or 3 day period.
Just over a 2 or 3 day period. Now, is this Nassau grouper, is it coming back more than what it used to be? It was very low in population, but what about now?
Certainly here in Little Cayman, it's much, much better off than anywhere else, Grand Cayman or Cayman Brac, because this one spot has been protected for over 8 years now. The population has recovered, but it is the only site left in the Caribbean where there is still a decent population from which the species can bounce back. Because without the chance given to them, this species will become more endangered, if not extinct.
How big do these groupers get?
They grow to like 50 pounds, but the average one we see around the reef here is like 5 to 10 pounds. The importance about having the big fish there is that they carry more eggs.
Okay.
So the big females are the ones you want to keep alive for a longer time, to spend more time on the dives, on the spag site we call it, and they're the ones that are going to give you a healthy offspring. In addition to proving that, we also track the larvae using flotation devices, drift markers with satellite transmitters to follow where the eggs went. And we found that the eggs and larvae come back to Little Cayman and they resettle on the reef. So these groupers are resupplying that area. They don't come from somewhere else up current like Cuba or Jamaica.
Dr. Guy, that's just fascinating.
The biggest problem with over-extraction of the groupers, kids, is that extinction is forever. And if you kill them off, they ain't gonna come back.
Wow. Well, we don't want to ever make the Nassau grouper extinct. Dr. Guy, it's been a pleasure having you with us today. You know a lot. I guess that's why they call you a marine biologist. That's tremendous. Thank you so much. Kids, never forget, nature is God's second book. Get out there, take a look.
This world's not my home, I'm just a passing through. My treasures are laid up somewhere beyond the blue. The angels beckon on me from heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Oh Lord, you know I have no friend like you. If heaven's not my home, then Lord, what will I do? The angels beckon on me from heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore.
It's learning time! Hey, thanks for joining us today. I think we're going to make a lot of fun stuff, and I need some helpers to help me do this and mix all these things together. I've got Nathan over here. Now, Nathan, what's the most fun thing you like to do?
Ski.
You like to ski on water or snow or?
Snow.
On snow. Hey, that'd be a cool thing to do, wouldn't it? I think so. And we have Hannah over here. Now, Hannah, I understand you like to collect things. Well, what do you collect?
Crayfish.
Oh, really? What about crayfish? What do you do?
I like to take them to camp meeting. I have a display sometimes.
Oh, cool. Ever have anything interesting happen with?
Yeah, once. I dared somebody to touch him, and he actually did stick his finger in there, and he got bitten. And I asked him later, and he said just to see if it would hurt.
Oh, okay. I bet you it hurt, because they have pinchers, don't they? That's right. And we have Emma over here. Now, Emma, what's your very favorite color?
Purple.
It's purple. Hey, let's get all of our helpers up here. We might make something that's kind of close to purple. Come on up here and let's see what we've got. We've got some safety glasses. We're using some things we wouldn't want to get in our eyes, okay? Okay, move over just a little bit, Emma. Okay, and here, you can come over here. I'll move this over. I'm going to put my safety glasses on too. All right. Now, what we have right here is we're going to make something called not slime, but we're going to make something that's very close to silly putty. Now, silly putty is kind of interesting, so I'm going to help you mix it up. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to take your bags and open them up. Okay, open them up just like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to add something to your bag. So I'm going to pour this one in here, okay, and I'm going to pour yours in here, Emma, just like that. Now this is water and it has some food coloring in it, so we don't want to maybe get that on our clothes. And then we have some of this white stuff right here. What does that look like? That's right, it's glue. This is white glue, and we're going to pour that white glue in there just like that. Try to get most of it in there that we can, okay? And we're going to pour this one in here. And if you can do that yourself, Hannah, you can go ahead and do that without messing up over here. Well, white glue is an adhesive, isn't it? Glues things together. Okay, just like that. Now, what we have is water and glue mixed all together. Now, if we can take this and I can smash this together, and all we'll get is watery blue glue. That's all that we'll get. And that will just be a little sloshing mess right here. But we're going to put a secret agent, and we're going to add it to the glue and the water. Now, the secret agent is in this container right here, and it's called borax. Now, borax is interesting because I'm going to pour some right into yours right there, and then we're going to zip it up. Go ahead and zip yours up, and you can pour yours in there as well. Go ahead and zip yours up. All right, zip it all the way up, just like that. Is it closed? Got to make sure it's closed. Is that, no, it's got to go one way or the other. It's closed right now. We don't want it to come open. And just go ahead and mix that up, just like this. Just mix it, and something should happen. Are you feeling something in there?
Yeah.
What are you feeling happening in there?
Something.
Is there a big glump of something in there?
Yeah.
There's a big glump of something in there. Well, I'll tell you what, once you think you've got a glump, I want you to reach in, and I want you to grab the glump and take it out and put it on your paper towel. And what they should come up with is what? Something that looks like that. Is that what's in yours? Okay, why don't you open it up and see if you can pull that out. And this is what we call silly putty. It's kind of like silly putty. It's actually putty, and it's made out of silly stuff. No, it's not made out of silly stuff. It's what? Water and what? Glue and some borax. And it has some very interesting properties. If I stretch it really, really slow, it will stretch just like this. But if I pull it really, really fast, what do you suppose happens? It breaks just like that. But you can have a lot of fun with this, and you can make your own silly type putty stuff. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
But how would you like to just play with the water and glue by itself?
Yeah.
Oh, would that be kind of a mess? We'd just have a stringy strand of watery glue, and it wouldn't be fun to play with at all. So the borax is the agent that makes this have some very interesting properties. You know, that reminds me. You know, sometimes people are all alike, and we can't kind of tell them apart, just like that water and that glue. But you know, if you and I have the secret agent in our lives, and that secret agent is really Jesus' love in our hearts, and we become extraordinary, and we can become something that people will look at and say, wow, man, I would really like to be like that. And that's what I want in my life. Is that what you want in your life?
Yeah.
I do too. And you know what? When we study more about science, we learn more about our Creator, God.
Something to drink, my lord.
Finally, I thought I was going to die of thirst before you showed up. Is that the best you have to offer?
No, my lord, how about this one?
That'll do.
Maybe some bread?
Your lordship, begging your pardon, there is a poor widow that begs an audience with you. She is so devastatedly poor, and her husband just passed. She has no money, no food. If you would just grant her but a few moments of your time, she'd be so...
No. I'm far too busy. Can't you see the important business I'm in the middle of?
Of course, Your
I have no
Lordship.
time.
Nothing is more important, but if you could just, her daughter is with her, and they have nothing to eat. If you could just please spare just a moment.
Fine,
Of course.
bring them in.
Of course, Your Lordship, of course. The widow, Your Lordship, and her daughter.
My lord, thank you for seeing us. You see, my husband just passed away, and my children and I have no food. Might you please give us a little bit of money and food to get us by?
No. Can't you see I don't have a crumb to spare? If you applied yourself half as much as I did, then you wouldn't be in the situation that you are.
My lord, I beg of you, please have mercy on us. My lord,
No.
you see
No.
my child.
No, and for the last time, no.
My lord,
Can't
please.
you get them out of my sight?
My lord,
Yes,
Go.
my lord.
I
Be
beg
gone.
of you,
I'm
have mercy on us.
They're ruining my appetite.
My lord, if it pleases you, could I just give them just a bit of yesterday's bread?
No, you may not. It does not please me.
Begging your forgiveness, my lord, just one further matter. There is an incident in the barn that needs your immediate
Yes,
attention.
fine. After I'm through here.
Yes, my lord.
Maybe.
Yes, my lord. There. 10. 10. And 10.
Hey!
My lordship.
Careful with that. Sober!
Yes.
What is this?
This is
nice stuff.
Indeed, it is, my lordship.
What's going on with my barn?
That is the matter that required your immediate attention, my lord.
I'll say it's a mess!
Well, it seems that your riches have somewhat overflowed the barnyard. We are a bit overstocked in resources, my lord. You're most blessed.
This is embarrassing. And people could steal my stuff. Tear it down. Tear it down and rebuild it. This time next year, I'm going to have even more stuff. I'm going to need a much bigger barn to hold said stuff.
Of course, my lord. Tear it down indeed we shall.
It's embarrassing. Nice, but
Fred! Fred!
how dare you? Do I look like a baker to you? I don't have time for this. I'm barely getting by on what I have. There'll be no handouts here. Go. So, Scoper. I don't care. Get her out of here.
Yes, my lord. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Poor people. I could really go for a glass of wine right about now.
Of course, my lord.
Now? Expensive wine.
Yes.
It is expensive, isn't it?
Expensive indeed, my lord.
Good. That's my favorite kind. I did say now, didn't I?
I am so sorry, my lord.
Nothing like a nice goblet of wine. Sofer?
My lord.
And don't think I didn't see you spill that wine. That will be coming out of your wages.
Much deserved, my lord. 7. Quickly. How many? How many?
Oh, what a glorious day. I may very well be the richest man in Palestine. Next year, I think I'll tear down my stores and build the barns even bigger to house my goods. Then I'll retire and live out the rest of my days in a life of luxury. Oh, what a glorious day.
This very night you will have to give up your life. Then who will get all these things you have kept for yourself?
Master, I heard voices. Master! Oh no! The judgment of God has fallen upon my wicked master. He had everything and lost it all in one night. It didn't have to be this way. It didn't have to be this way.
Open our eyes, Lord. We want to see Jesus, to reach out and touch Him and say that we love Him. Open our ears, Lord.
boys and girls, it's time for Miss Brenda's Book of the Day. And today's book is by a very special author and special friend of Miss Brenda's, Karen Collum, and she wrote the book Fish Don't Need Snorkels. Isn't that a really fun title? This book is all about how God made each animal just right, and he makes boys and girls just right too. You won't want to miss this book. And this book is really for the younger audience of Kids Time, and it's kind of appropriate today because my guest today is a younger audience member who loves Kids Time and is here witnessing for Jesus. Meet Samuel. Hi, Samuel. I'm so glad that you came to be on Kids Time. I'm so glad you're here.
It's an honor to be here.
Well, thank you. I asked you to come and be on Kids Time because you do something special to share Jesus. What is that?
I speak.
You speak? Where do you speak?
I speak at all kinds of churches.
In churches? And what do you speak on?
I speak on Job, Abraham, and Isaac. I went back to Job. Then I'm talking about Daniel, then Jonah. Then I think I'm going to do Esther.
Oh, really? Oh, we just taped Queen Esther for Bible Time stories here on Kids Time. I think you have to come and be in our Bible stories sometime. Would you like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I want to know, would you mind kind of just giving us a little sample of your sermon?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you're going to start your sermon, what do?
I would pray.
You would pray, and after prayer, what would you do?
I would do the introduction.
And what would the introduction be like?
It would be like, first giving honor to God, who is the head of my life. I am overjoyed to be here today. It makes my heart fill with joy anytime I have the opportunity to share God's words with others. I get so excited about all the great things God do for us and all his wonderful creations. And when I think about all his greatness, I cannot help but to think how much he loves us and how much more he blesses us when we are faithful and obedient to him. The Bible tells us about a lot of people who put their trust and faith in God. My favorite Bible story is called Daniel. Daniel in the lion's den.
Wow, now let me just interrupt you a minute because that's quite an introduction, isn't that, boys and girls? I mean, he really knows how to preach. But you don't call yourself a preacher, you call yourself a speaker, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, let me ask you this. You are how old?
6.
You're 6 years old. Okay, so if boys and girls, if Samuel can preach at 6 years old, I think that all of us should be ministers for Jesus. And we could be out speaking too, because God tells us in the Bible that we're all supposed to go out and speak for him. So now let me hear the part of your sermon. How would you start your story of Job?
My story of Job?
If you'd start your sermon.
I would say, now Job was a faithful and obedient servant to God.
Okay, and keep going.
Then I would say, well, Job had 3 sons and 3 daughters. And Job had lots of sheep and cattle, but the devil tried to take away all that. He asked God, can he do that? But God said, don't touch him, don't make him die or kill him. And the devil didn't do none of those things, but he had harm on Job.
And can you give me a little more? What you said you also do Abraham? Give me a little bit if you were starting Abraham's sermon. What would that be like?
Abraham was faithful too. And he married his wife was named Isaac. And
his wife wasn't named Isaac. What's Abraham's wife's name?
Her name was Sarah.
That's right.
Then God came to Abraham and told him that he would have a son when he was about 100 years old. Then he had a son and he called him Isaac.
Oh, that's right.
So Isaac grew up and married a woman, and the woman had 2 twins, and she felt them kicking and fighting each other. And those 2 twins were named Esau and Jacob.
That's right. Can I ask you this? What is your favorite Bible story?
My favorite Bible story is Daniel.
Daniel? And why is that your favorite?
Because I liked it when he went to the city of Jerusalem Babylon, and how he almost got eaten by the lions. But I liked it when he went down in there, but I didn't like it when he was about to get eaten up. And I liked the angel come and said, and closed the lion's mouth. And that's the part I like about it.
I do too, because God sent angels to close the lion's mouth. And what happened to Daniel?
He didn't get eaten.
No, he didn't. Jesus saved him. I mean, God saved him, didn't he?
Yes,
That's right. I like that story of Daniel Lion's Den too. I think that's a really good story. Maybe we should do that one on Kids Time. But I don't know about all those lions, boys and girls. What would we do? That would be kind of tricky to do that story, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So would you like to come back and be on our Bible stories with us?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I would love that. What story would you want to play in?
I would want to play as the king in Esther.
Okay. You'd want to be the king, huh? Oh. Now, how often do you preach?
I preach on, I think, Saturdays and Sundays.
So, and do you go all over or just like in your hometown?
All over.
You go all over. Well, I think that's pretty special. You must love Jesus an awful lot.
Yes, ma'am.
You do. Well, I love Jesus too, and I want to thank you so much for being with us today, Samuel. Keep speaking for Jesus. Boys and girls, remember it's kids' time to share Jesus.